SeatGeek is the easiest way to find the best deals on tickets to pretty much any live event. Concerts, sports, theater, comedy, whatever you want. Download the SeatGeek app today and enter promo code SEATS to save $20 on your first purchase.
Hey everybody, it's Therese Paylor, Chiefs beat writer with the Kansas City Star, and we've got another episode here, Chiefs Game Plan. All right, on Sunday we got the Chiefs at 8-6, got a chance to wrap up their second straight AFC West crown for the first time in history against the Miami Dolphins. Arrowhead Stadium, Christmas Eve. What more can you want? Dolphins are 6-8, not necessarily knocked out of the playoff picture yet, but they're close. We'll see if they come to play. But anyway, we got a great show for you today. First guest to introduce us to what we can expect from the Dolphins is my man Orlando Alzaguirre, hosts the Big O Show on WQAM 560 in Miami. Very knowledgeable, giving me a lot of good stuff. And then, the A-Team Roundtable, man. A-Team Roundtable. Live from 7th Street Casino. Think you guys enjoy that. We make our predictions. Talk about the Dolphins' weaknesses. Talk a little bit about John Dorsey, but also like the Chiefs Pro Bowl nominations. If anybody got snubbed, and a whole lot more. So, all right, here we go. Here's my interview with Orlando Alzaguirre. Let's go. Okay, I'm pleased to welcome one of the best hosts in South Florida, host of the Big O Show on 560 WQAM, a personal favorite of mine for Hurricane Talk. It's Orlando Alzaguirre. Orlando, how you doing, man?
I am doing great. Cannot complain, Therese. Enjoying a beautiful day here in South Florida.
Love it. A little better than it is in Kansas City right now. 45 degrees here. So
come on down, baby. Come on down. We got 75, 80 during winter.
Oh my goodness. All right. I wish this game was on the road, but it happens to be here in Kansas City. And I am curious to know your thoughts because the Dolphins are coming to town this weekend. The Dolphins are not completely out of the mix yet. They do have something to play for. Is there any chance that the weather, if it's just regularly cold here, say it's 40 degrees, affects the amount of juice these guys bring to the table?
No, I don't. They're an inconsistent bunch. That's the problem, Therese. You have no idea who's going to show up. The team that shuts down and makes Tom Brady look like a fool, or the team that just goes up to Buffalo and lays a complete egg. That's who the Miami Dolphins have been all season long, and that's been a problem for them because of their lack of consistency. So, and because this isn't the Kansas City team that started the first month of the season, I'll give them a puncher's chance to go in there and win that game because, again, who are they led by? One of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the history of the game, and that's Jay Cutler, who can go in there and absolutely light you up, or he can go in there and throw 3 interceptions and Marcus Peters scores 2 touchdowns. We have no idea what's going to end up, happening this week. It is what it is, my brother. It's been a wacky season from a team that, can beat the Falcons and shut them down in the second half, then, lose to the New York Jets or lose to the Oakland Raiders or lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's who they are.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let me ask you something. Are you guys surprised at all how Cutler has played? I think you signed him kind of out of desperation because of the Tannehill injury.
Right.
Is this what you guys pretty much expected?
Well, actually, I got to tell you something. Because of 2015, where he accounted for 21 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and for Jay Cutler, that is incredible progress. We all know that the elite quarterbacks, when we talk about the Bradys and the Aaron Rodgers, those dudes have, 3, 4, maybe even 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratios. They're sick, but that's what the elite guys do. But for a guy like Cutler, just to go 2 for 1 practically is a miracle. And so we all figured, okay, well, maybe it looks like the panacea is Adam Gase. He's figured it out. That, Tannehill played his best 7.5 games of his career under Adam Gase last year. You saw that Peyton Manning had his greatest season ever under Gase with 55 touchdowns. Hell, he was the quarterback's coach for Tim Tebow, and they beat the Steelers in one game. So we said, okay, the resume says this guy's quarterback guru with the weapons that we have here in Miami. All right, they should be all right. Well, no, it didn't go that way. It was so a lot of us, including me, I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I gave Adam Gase the benefit of the doubt, but it's clear Adam Gase got lucky because he is as lackadaisical as it gets, and after all these years, he's still lazy and he throws off his back foot and he throws these incredibly just dumb interceptions that you just scratch your head and you're like, dude, come on. And for those of us that are old enough, I'm 51. I lived through Jeff George.
Oh, wow.
He is Jeff George of this era. That's who he is, man. He's perfectly that guy. One of the best arms you'll ever see, because Jeff George, for me, is one of the 5 greatest arms I have ever seen in my life watching football. But I don't want him on my team anywhere, whatsoever. And that's a guy that I learned from early on because he did not want to come to the University of Miami because they had Kozar and Testaverde.
Yep.
And he didn't want to compete, so he went to Illinois. And so, I remember from, him from those days, and from those days on, I'd always look at Jeff George and I'd always question his competitive desire. And when I look at Jay Cutler, I look at a guy that I have to question his competitive desire, because when he fails, I don't see enough of him caring about failing, and I don't see enough of him, like I just told you to start this answer. I told you he keeps throwing off his back foot. You'd figure a guy that's been in the league this long would work on his fundamentals. If Tom Brady does it, and Drew Brees does it, and Aaron Rodgers does it, sure, do they have to sometimes throw off balance because of pressure and things like that? Of course. But more often than not, they're consistent and they're accurate, and their touchdown to turnover ratio is so superior because they're superior all the way down to the fundamentals.
Right. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the offense here. Kenyon Drake, not bad. Kind of like Kenyon Drake. And also Jarvis Landry. Just what are some of the options that he has to throw to and give the ball to? And a quick review of the O-line, how they've been too.
The O-line, now that they added Jesse Davis to the line, he's actually played pretty well. He looks like a guy that they might have found a little diamond in the rough and they can build on into the offseason, because they don't really have guards. And Pouncey's not the player he used to be. He doesn't have the athleticism to pop out and pull, on one side or another. And he's just not that same guy. He has to play a little bit more in a phone booth than he can from zone to zone. But the offensive line has done all right as of late. Sam Young's done a nice job also on the right side. So they've done a serviceable job. And Kenyon Drake, Kenyon Drake has all the ability in the world. The problem is when he went to Alabama, all those guys were there. Derrick Henry and all those cats. They had like 3 running backs that were monsters in front of him. So he was a backup at that time. So they never really got to use him the way he could get showcased. But the guy has 4.3, 4.4 speed. He can just break away out in the open field, and you'll see it. If Kansas City does not get him at the first level and he gets to the second level, he is going to make a lot of linebackers and safeties look absolutely foolish, and he'll pop it. He's been popping long runs in every single game. If that guy ever plays behind a great line, it would be pretty impressive. Now, the thing he's had to prove is durability. And so far, even when he was a part-timer from last year even into this year, he had his little knickknacks. He would pick up an injury here or there, and he was barely playing. He was playing more on special teams. Yet now, they've given him the rock the 3 straight weeks here as the man, and he has not, shown whatsoever any kind of, weaknesses or wearing down. So it's been pretty impressive. And Landry's the same dude. He's so dangerous inside the 20-yard box. He's not going to pop a long one because that's not who he is. He doesn't really have top-end speed. Everything has to work out. The stars have to align for him to pop, a long one. But he'll kill you inside that 20-yard box, and he'll help any quarterback move the chains. Devontae Parker's one of those guys you can't count on. He's got incredible talent. He could be a number one type receiver, but he has not shown the desire to be that guy and to show up week in and week out. But he can make some plays that will absolutely wow you. Kenny Stills is a guy that if he's on the field, he's definitely dangerous and can make big time plays as he's proven the last 2 years here with Miami. It's a pretty good offense. They put Julius Thomas on the IR. He was a disaster. That was another guy that Gase brought in. Two former Gase guys that haven't worked out. Cutler and Julius Thomas. He's on the IR. They got a kid named Marquise Gray that you'll see on Sunday, and he's a decent player. He's a serviceable player. He's a solid player. He's a good pro. He's probably in line to be a solid number 2 in the NFL. He can be that kind of guy, more of a pass catcher, not necessarily an inline blocker, but a pass catcher. That's pretty. And then Fasano, he was there, yep. So he's a solid backup. Those kind of guys, but. It's a decent offense, man. It really is. It's not a bad offense. It's just they can't find consistency, and they will shoot themselves in the foot on a consistent basis. They're the second most penalized team in the NFL, so they're going to make mistakes on their own. So even if Kansas City can't play great defense, but if they can bend and force Miami into lots of plays, 9+ plays, force them to go into double-digit drives, I guarantee you they will force some kind of mistake or some kind of turnover from Cutler or something along those lines. That's the one thing that they have not been able to shake this year under Adam Gase is mistakes.
Okay. And on defense, as we wrap up here, like who's really played well for them, and what do you see when teams have gotten mad after the defense? Like, what have they done?
Well, I think in this game it's going to be interesting because I think we're going to see a little bit of what I saw in the New England game. Xavier Howard, Miami's young corner who's in his second year, he shadowed Brandon Cooks a couple of weeks ago against New England. And although they didn't have Gronk, so that's going to be a little bit of a different factor. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I could see them saying, all right, let's not let Tyreek Hill absolutely kill us because his speed is just so special. So Tyreek Hill, I would imagine he's going to see a lot of Xavier Howard. I would think, and maybe a little help sometimes over the top. I think they might leave him even alone with him at times because that safety's probably going to have to worry about Kelsey with whoever plays in the slot. So I would imagine that's what's going on. You're going to see Bobby McCain, who's actually improved in the slot position. Miami's corners actually aren't too bad, and if Tankersley can come back this week, that would definitely help out on the boundary opposite of Xavier Howard. So that's going to be really, really interesting. But if for all the fantasy players out there, Travis Kelce is going to have a monster game here because Kiko Alonso cannot cover, and the Dolphin safeties, I like them, especially Rashad Jones, but they're both strong safeties. There's really not a great free safety on this team. They need to search for that in the draft or in free agency next year. So these guys are going to have a little trouble covering downfield. So if Kelsey can work that seam, I think he can create a lot of damage against Miami. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 8+ catches and over 100 yards against Miami in this one, because this is one of those matchups that I'm sure Andy Reid is looking at it on film saying, my guy is going to tear them apart.
All right, man. Go ahead and make your prediction before I let you get out of here.
Sadly, I'm gonna have to go against the Miami Dolphins. I know that Kansas City's one of the better places, when it comes to home field advantage. Those fans are absolutely rabid. It's such a great fan base. It's on my bucket list, actually. I told you to move down here. I was also going to follow up with bring some freaking barbecue when you when you do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with KC, man. I think this is going to be one of those 27-20 type games. KC ends up winning it and edging Miami. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Dolphins actually show up and win one. I mean, that would not shock me as helter-skelter as this team is.
Okay. Hey, man, this was great. I really appreciate your time. Hey, try to enjoy the game. I know it's not easy with how up and down they are, but try to enjoy it, all right?
Hey, Jay, listen, I've been doing these post-game shows for over 20 years. So I've been doing I did the 1-in-15 season, so this was slightly easier, you know what I'm saying? It's rough that this season followed the 10-6 season, which you were like, okay, you were hoping they would build on it, but unfortunately they took a few steps back this year.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Hey, Therese, thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, man. Thank you.
Okay, good stuff there from Orlando. Let's go ahead to the 8-team roundtable.
Hey, let's go. It's Therese Paler. It's the 8-team, live on location from Wyandotte County. The Dot, KCK. What's going on, 7th Street Casino? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing
I'm
good.
thinking he was Santa Therese right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're the one you cut the beard.
I cut it off, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to bring some juice
mirth,
to the mix.
some
Right.
juice?
Yeah, mirth. Right, that's a good word for it. It's good. All right, introduce yourselves. Blair Kirkhoff.
Blair Kirkhoff, we have crossed the state line.
We have.
Kansas, haven't we?
Good stuff.
We are now FBI, under FBI jurisdiction.
We are. Yeah. Yep.
And that matters.
Took me a second.
Convicted? No.
Let's go.
Sam Mellinger.
Hey.
Mellinger.
He needs no introduction.
You know, I had to introduce myself, but Sam, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up. Vahe Gregorian, the
right.
Ringo Starr of the A-Team.
Okay. We got a great show. Because it's live, we got a great show. Chiefs just announced their Pro Bowlers for this upcoming year. There's 3. TK, Travis Kelce, Ty Hill, and Kareem Hunt. We're going to break down if anybody got screwed. We're also going to see and discuss whether there's anything Alex Smith can do to prevent being replaced in 2018. What can he do the rest of this year to prevent that from happening? If we have time, we will talk about John Dorsey, the Chiefs' former general manager, and what he faces in Cleveland, and what were some very interesting comments that we now have an opportunity to dissect and laugh at. We will take your questions, of course. We'll also talk about the Chiefs' best playoff matchups. We're assuming they're going to make it. We're going to talk about some of the teams we'd rather see them face if you're a Chiefs fan, right? Then we're going to answer your questions, maybe talk a little Royal stuff if we have time, all right? So, let's get with Aaron Hosmer. I'm kind of interested in that.
Okay.
Let's get into it right from the get-go. Of course, Travis Kelce made it. Of course, Ty Hill made it. Of course, Kareem Hunt made the Pro Bowl. No doubt, all no doubters.
Yeah.
Who got screwed? Did anybody get screwed?
Well, who didn't make the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career?
Yeah. Marcus, I don't know that he got screwed.
Deuce.
I thought he was kind of borderline. I thought he's been good, not great this year. Had a couple of just stinker games, though. The Washington game, there may have been another one. The voting probably was done before Saturday.
Yeah.
And probably after he got suspended. That doesn't help.
Boy, that's a good 1-2 punch. That's a good point.
So, I don't know. Mitch Schwartz,
Ooh,
I think he's had a good year.
he's had a nice season.
He has had a good year.
Nice little season.
Chris Jones been too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, if you're just basing it on a couple of weeks, maybe you'd be talking more about Marcus and Chris here late. But like you said, the suspension didn't help Marcus any, and who knows when I don't know when the voting closes.
Well, and Reggie Ragland got started too late.
Yeah.
But he's on that kind of track. He's a second half all-star. Not a season long, but a second half.
Harrison Butker.
There you go.
But there's a lot of good kickers.
There are a lot of good kickers.
Gostkowski, and tough to crack that, especially as a rookie.
Super tough.
I don't know. I don't feel like anybody really got screwed.
I don't either.
Let me run this thought by you, though. How about this? Each of the last 3 draft classes has produced a Pro Bowler in their rookie season. Right? Marcus Peters in 2015, Tyreek Hill last year, and now Kareem Hunt. I bet that hadn't happened too often.
Although That's a good point. Especially when, not a first-round pick in Kareem's case.
Right.
And
Tyreek.
And Tyreek, yeah.
So this is, if anybody got screwed, isn't it the guy who's leading the league in passer rating?
I thought he was good. Here's the one thing you got to remember.
He'll be on.
Some of these quarterbacks,
No, he'll be on.
$1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's how he's made it in the past,
Right,
too,
sure,
right? As,
right.
as a substitute.
But he's never been leading the league in passer rating. You know what I mean? I don't know.
career high passer rating. It's like 105.
Yeah.
Higher than his last year in San Francisco under Jim Harbaugh. You can say he certainly had a case for it.
And he gets no traction when they talk about NFL MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. It's Brady and Antonio Brown until he got hurt. And, but Alex isn't part of any of that conversation, and I think he should be at least part of the conversation.
And I'd like to encourage you guys who are watching. Thank you. Please send me your questions. We're gonna answer as many as we can. I think Alex had a really good case for it, right? Really nice season, a career season for him. But at the same time, quarterback's tough to make it. He will make it. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like he got screwed.
Right,
I'm just
I don't
saying
either.
There's a case.
He's got a case.
Yeah.
Peter certainly he has a case. I mean, it hasn't been as good of a season as his first two, but we know how bad the cornerback play is in this league.
That's true.
I mean, let's not forget that now. Like, this is not good here. Okay, so I think it's interesting he didn't make it. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call. Let's look at this. Let's see who made it at cornerback. AJ Bouye, really good.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey's awesome. Both from the Jaguars. Aqib Talib from the Broncos. Casey Hayward from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Those are four really good players.
Those are good.
Hayward's a great corner.
Last time we saw
corner.
Casey Hayward,
Dealing with a calf, though.
yeah, he was dealing with a calf.
He never should have been put in that position.
It is funny, though. That's the last play you think of.
Yeah.
Tyreek
No, he's-
running away from him.
He's a good player.
So I looked at the quarterbacks, and I think
Yeah.
that Alex Smith should have made it over Phil Rivers. He's having a better year.
I
Beat him
agree.
twice. Better
Yep.
statistical year. But I don't know. I'm not gonna
We're not going to
Say you got screwed.
We're not going to the mattresses over that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's a good point. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Probably has a better case than Phil
Yeah.
Rivers. They beat him head to head. He's been flawless against
Yep.
him. So.
Yep.
How high do we think Tyreek Hill's ceiling is? Like, this guy, he made it as a receiver. Actually, he made it as a punt returner.
guy.
But he'll play some receiver, and certainly his receiving stats were outstanding.
And we've talked about this a little bit with him, but it's anybody that thinks he's just a fast guy is not paying attention. I mean, he's really developed into a good receiver fundamentally.
Yeah.
Great hands. We can name 10 catches that were outstanding catches that weren't just because he ran away from somebody and ran under the ball.
I think he can be a top 5 receiver. I really do.
I do too.
I really do. I think he's terrific.
That's when the Chiefs made the move they did when they released Jeremy Maclin back in late May, early June. It was with the idea that Tyreek's going to be the Z, and
It's worked out.
has worked out. He's going to surpass Macklin's best year in terms of numbers, I think. And best year, wasn't Macklin's best year in Kansas City? Was about 1,200.
2015, yeah. It was about 1,100 yards.
Yeah, and
80-something catches, maybe a little under that. It was a good year.
yeah, it was a good year. Tyreek's already at 1050 or so, went over 1,000 yards on the touchdown reception.
But Ty definitely passes the eye test more than Mac does.
Oh, my God.
As an athlete, as a dynamic playmaker.
Yep.
He definitely passes that eye test.
He's also 23, 24.
Just a kid, right?
He should be getting better, and not just 23, 24, but 23, 24, and basically, we talk about his first full season in the NFL as a receiver. Kind of his first full season as a receiver, right?
Yeah.
A lot of running back, at West Alabama. No offense to West Alabama's competition, but not sure how much he was learning there.
You're right.
I don't know. I just feel like he's going to keep getting better. I've been shocked, and I think the Chiefs are too. And if they were honest, I think they would say this at how much he's progressed. I thought they drafted him thinking maybe it's an upgrade over DeAnthony Thomas.
He's a really fast returner.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You think so, huh?
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know what? That was an amazing compliment to DeAnthony Thomas, by the way. He brought up when the Chiefs drafted Tyreek Hill, a month later, we got to talk to DeAnthony Thomas, and it was the first time we talked to him because he was away from the team for a while, and it was the first time. He was very well coached, and I'm standing to the side, and I asked DeAnthony, I'm like, hey, that kid's a little bit like you. He's got some juice. Like, what are you seeing him? He's like, the rookie? You think so, huh? Like he was offended by the comparison.
I gotta say, D'Anthony turned out to be right. I don't see all that much of a comparison.
And yet, there they were, Thelma and Louise going into the end zone together in Denver last year.
That was cute.
That's great. If we're done with, one last thing I was looking at. Harrison Butker does have a case. He was really good this year. But I would tell you, I feel like a lot of times the kicker position is a bit of a hierarchy. Like guys kind of wait their turn. It's kind of hard to immediately be a rookie and win that. Chris Boswell converted 33 of 36 field goals.
Look, it's interesting though with Harrison Butker. I think he's only missed 2 since he missed the first one, right? Is that
right?
Right?
That's right. Yeah, including one Sunday against the Chargers.
Yeah,
after he was frozen, and
that's right.
Anthony Lynn did a good job of using his timeouts at the end of the half.
It'd be an interesting test of your theory there, Terez, too, if he had not missed 2 since then. I mean, I know it's sort of just fantasy island, but I wonder if he would have made it if not for that.
Point. One last point on the Pro Bowl. I'm tired of talking. I know this is a news story now. Who made it, who didn't, and it'll dominate the news cycle for the next few hours. I'm tired of talking about Chiefs and the Pro Bowl. That seems like that's what's out there for the Chiefs is the Pro Bowl. Who's going to the Pro Bowl? And Chiefs will have 3 more guys picked to the team as subs because the Patriots or the Steelers will be in the Super Bowl and all their Pro Bowl guys can't make it.
But don't worry, Andy will make you feel better when he gets it was a good year. Right? AFC West champs 2 years in a row, right?
Remember 2012? I forgot the exact number, but was it 6? 6
from
Pro
a 2
Bowlers?
14 team.
That would be incompetent.
Which was a legitimate
at 6.
which was a legitimate point to make at the news conference when they introduced Andy and Dorsey. Look at all this talent we have here. We can win with this. Okay, I'll buy that. But 4 out of 5 years in the playoffs, and no closer to the Super Bowl in any than the division round any year, unless this year it happens.
Well, one last guy.
No, I'm sorry. Chiefs and Pro Bowl. Let's finish talking about it.
One last guy we'll talk about before we move on. Justin Houston. This wasn't like a typical killer Justin Houston season, but he still had a good statistical year. It was like 8 sacks, something like that. He has consistently been very good at holding the edge. 9.5 sacks this year for Houston.
I got that here somewhere.
Now, the guys that made it ahead of him, Von Miller, of course, Jadeveon Clowney.
Clowney's been really good
Clowney's
this year.
been good this year.
How about
Terrell
Matt?
Suggs.
Zach make?
12 Suggs has like 11 sacks, 11 and a half, something like that. It's a big number. I was just looking at that the other day.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why the Pro Bowl's announced after week 15 and not after? There's 2 more. Everybody's got 2 more games to play.
It's dumb. Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be the first thing the NFL has messed up. In addition, this is a dorky little rant here. Very unhappy with the NFL Game Pass app.
Yeah,
very unhappy.
It's terrible.
I gotta jump through hoops to get it to play on my television. I'm wasting time here. I need to be able to break this game down. And I have a lot of demands on my time here, NFL. What I don't need you to do is make me sign into the thing on my smart television every single time. That is the only app, literally, the only app on that television that requires me to do that.
Is that right?
It is absurd. Because they're just so scared about someone stealing their precious content. Get over yourself.
There you are on your remote. Arrow.
I can feel it.
It's infuriating.
That is bad.
Backspace.
I've never done it on my TV.
So infuriating. Okay. Next thing. We all know that Alex Smith is in the midst of a very nice season.
Pro Bowl season.
Give it a couple weeks. Everybody wants to see the kid. We might see the kid in a couple weeks, right?
Yep.
What does Alex Smith have to do to prevent the offseason trade? Is there anything he can do?
I haven't changed my feeling about this from the preseason. If the Chiefs are in the AFC Championship game, I think Alex comes back and you take another run with it. Run at the Super Bowl run next year. I have no reason not to. If a mind has changed, it's not based on anything that we've seen Patrick Mahomes do or anything we've heard about Patrick Mahomes, because it can. The only time we've seen him play is in the preseason, and he only got one series with the first team, right? With the first team offense. That was in Cincinnati, and he did drive for a touchdown. Made some great plays on that. But no, if you're close enough to get to the AFC Championship game, and most of your team is back next year, do you change the quarterback?
Here's your perfect place where it's a real question. He plays like he did against the Colts in the playoffs a couple of years ago in the divisional game, and they lose, 45-44. Then what do you ask yourself? I mean, it's not really because of him that they didn't get to the next round, but they didn't get to the next round. I think that makes it a little fuzzy.
I actually think they need to get to the Super Bowl because it's not just like about Alex Smith next year, and I don't think Alex Smith is going to be this good next year. That's just my opinion. But it's $17 million that you save. Like that to me is the big chunk. And they need draft picks next year. They don't have a lot. They trade away their first round pick. He could also poison Patrick Mahomes. That's the other way.
He could also poison him?
Yeah. Then he's the quarterback.
Woo. Wow.
Just saying. He said, what did he have to do?
I went to the dark turn.
I want to make sure I heard it right.
You guys were just looking at you too, like.
Just want to slip that in.
Okay. How about this? What would a team, let's say they make the Super Bowl and lose. Because I think if they win the Super Bowl, that gives you green light to trade them. To be honest.
Maybe.
That's an interesting question, right? More value.
So
Has that ever happened?
I don't think that's ever happened per se, but teams have moved on from the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
They have. I guess that's right.
Guilford did. They did. Okay, so, all right. Let's say they lose in the Super Bowl. What would it take for you to trade Alex Smith?
Well, we bring this up. One of the reasons we bring this up is there was a story on ESPN today about who's the Buffalo quarterback in 2018. Alex Smith was listed as a possibility and what the fit would be. And it made some sense as I read it. The Bills have all these picks next year, right? Two picks in the first round, including one of the Chiefs, and 2 picks in the second round. So they've got the value there to make a deal. And certainly the Chiefs want to be a bigger player in the draft next year, I would think. But let me ask you guys this: who's the best quarterback in the AFC West right now?
Isn't it him?
Probably.
Yeah.
Based on the play this year, yeah.
Who's the best coach in the AFC West?
Andy?
I do.
You want to break that up? We're going to break that up with a team that I don't see falling. Well, they're 8-6 this year. The best they can be is 10-6. I think this next year's team can. I don't know. I haven't given it really a lot of thought. But you got the best coach quarterback combination on your team right now. You better get a hell of a lot for that if you're going to part ways with your quarterback.
I keep thinking about $17 million that they would save. Like it's not, it's not a fair fight between who you think is going to be better. It's not just that. Alex has to be $17 million better to me. And I just look. The other thing too is like so much is going to change. I know we played 15 of 17 weeks, 14 of 16 games, but I don't even know if we're halfway to knowing everything we need to know. So much is going to depend on. Them against, I know we'll talk about this, but them against the Ravens/Titans/Bills in that wild card round. And if they get by it, the Chiefs versus the Steelers or Patriots
or the Jaguars. I mean,
yeah. A lot's going to depend on that too.
Yeah. What I would do is I would entertain the trade because I believe in the kid and I believe in what we saw. And I thought that the value you'll have on that guy, on that rookie deal for the next 4 years, the pieces you can add around him, and the ability he has to keep getting better probably makes it worth it. As good as Alex has been, I don't think that he'll repeat this, especially in a different place. He'll need a coach the caliber of Andy Reid to repeat this kind of performance. That's just my opinion, though.
You'd be selling high.
You'd be selling high. You'd be selling high. And let's not forget, it means a lot for teams to be able to have a quarterback making $3 million.
Yeah.
That is so much money that can go toward stocking up this defense you guys are tired of.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see another edge rusher next to Justin Houston? That can pay for some of that. You want to see more depth along the defensive line, so these guys keep getting pushed and they can't disappear for the entire month of November. Aside from Benny Logan, Benny Logan was awesome during those 2 games in the Meadowlands that were horrific to watch. He's the only thing that made that tape watching okay. But anyway,
and yet he's the one who got the big penalty in the Jets game for running into the center on the field goal.
And I think I agree with him that was a bogus call.
It was a total bogus.
As a football player, he was bringing it.
But one other quick thing. It's a really minor thing, but it's probably kind of part of this matrix you have to think about. At what point are you? Does Patrick Mahomes benefit from a second year in any way, sitting?
It didn't hurt Aaron Rodgers.
No, Aaron Rodgers is always
a great example.
It's always the fallback example.
But there's something to be said for that. At some point, the kid needs to play, and he's 22 years old. And that's a young age to be leading some men now.
Yeah.
But I can see it.
Best case scenario for the Chiefs, they win Sunday, and we get to see the kid a week from Sunday.
Yep.
That's how we
That
started.
could be awesome.
Yep.
How many columns on Mahomes are
You got the 2 written already, right?
He does. Sam's going to be off that week.
Just Sam.
So it got Sam and I talking over wings tonight at dinner. Let's say that scenario plays out, that the Chiefs win, they clinch. Who rests against Denver besides, let's just assume Mahomes plays? Who else might get a rest in that game?
I'm glad you said that because that's one of the questions we got here.
A lot of defense, right?
I think Hunt needs a rest.
Yes.
I think
Hunt
Kareem
definitely
needs
needs
a
a
rest.
rest.
I don't think Ty needs to take another hit. I think you just play the Ty needs a rest.
Justin Houston.
Houston, absolutely. Who else has been banged up along the defensive front? I wonder if Jones has been.
He looked really woozy.
Benny
coming off
Logan
the
won't
field.
play. I tell you, Benny won't play. He's a little banged
That's a
up.
nacho game right there.
That's big time. Big time.
And 92 will play a lot.
You're going to be seeing a lot of Tano. You're going to be seeing a lot of Nacho. Justin Hamilton, you'll see him.
Jarvis Jenkins.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Would you play Rattler? With that knee?
And don't want him hurt.
As good as he is.
I'd say why.
And we're still waiting to hear from Kevin Pierre-Louis.
Yeah. Cornerbacks, safeties.
You got plenty there. Don't you have plenty of options there?
How many regulars played? They did this twice, didn't they? When they sat the first year, San Diego.
They did everything possible not to play anybody.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
And lost that game in overtime.
Yeah. That was the
Chargers needed to win it to get in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's right.
What I would wonder if you do sit Alex and it means you're playing the kid, I wonder what the offensive line looks like against Denver.
Yeah, you want the kid to
Look, that's a great question. That's an important question.
I think the offensive
can't let
line
him get
plays.
stomped.
I think the offensive line plays. Here's why. Offensive linemen, the thing they take the most pride in is their availability.
That's right.
They always say, "Hey, I was there. I didn't miss a snap this year." That matters to Fish, right? That matters to
The best
Schwartz.
ability is availability.
Absolutely. So I actually think those guys will play. I Fish, Schwartz, Duvernay, Tardif. You need that to get a good teaching tape from Mahomes.
Yeah,
so I think he plays.
You can't throw him to that defensive line and say, "Hey, good luck." I mean, you can't.
No.
All this, of course, depends on the Chiefs not losing as double-digit favorites this year, which has happened twice.
Are they 0-2 as double-digit favorites?
I believe that is correct.
This is sort of the parallel of the 3rd and 7 and worse situations that you just think you got the other team pinned and no go.
You guys are so funny. There are people upset that we're even talking about Alex in 2018. Like it is. You guys have just been so spurned by like ex-49er quarterbacks that don't like
There's a lot of that.
push it down. And like here's the thing, in a vacuum, Alex has pushed it downfield this year. Like he's unleashed some beautiful. In a lot of ways, he's been a different quarterback.
Are you looking for that stat about 20 yards?
Well, Tyreek has helped make him a different quarterback. And Kareem Hunt has helped make him a different quarterback.
Here it is. This is from Pro Football Focus. Alex Smith leads all quarterbacks in yards gained on passes more than 20 yards downfield with 1,224. And it says that's not particularly close either. And 543 of those 1,224 yards are on passes to Tyreek. So that's a little less than 700, about 680 to other guys.
And that's the thing. Macklin thought he was open tie is open. Okay?
That's right.
Macklin was jumping around.
right.
Like, you're even. Like, I get it, but, and, you know, the kid would have swung at the Macklin. The tie is open. You know, if you even with tie, it's long gone. Okay? So,
Tell you what, Macklin's going to have the opportunity to get a last laugh, I think, when this playoff bracket
glad you
comes
brought
out.
that up. Can we get to that?
Yeah.
Potential playoff matchups. Who do the Chiefs match up best with in the playoffs, and then the worst? Well, the most likely outcome is that the Chiefs have the number 4 seed and host the Titans, Bills, or Ravens in the wild card round.
Wait, I've heard that. Where did I see this earlier?
I'm telling you now. I missed your game plan on Sunday, by the way. And well, at the moment,
earlier in the week.
at the moment, it seems like anyone matches up well with the Titans. I've been stunned at how bad Marcus Mariota has been. I still think he has a chance to be a star, but at 12 touchdowns and 14 interceptions, Andre Ware numbers. Oh my God!
Bad, right? I can't believe. I really thought that kid was a star.
Too. I did. Oh wow. Okay. So let's talk about that. Titans, Bills, or Ravens are going to host that likely in the first round. I'd rather see the Bills. Nothing about that team scares me.
Same with the Titans right now, the way they're playing, losing to San Francisco this weekend, and I think they're just on a slide.
That's interesting. So how would you rank this? How would you guys rank this? Because I know the last team for all of us is going to be the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I know the team that's going to be there is going to be the Ravens.
Absolutely.
Who do you want the most ranking? Or
If you're a Chiefs fan, which team would you rather see the most? I'm going to go for the Bills.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
nothing about that team that scares me. Except Tyrod Taylor putting a few plays out of it. But
He's good at Arrowhead.
he is good at Arrowhead.
Yeah, he's 2-0 at Arrowhead and like 0-30 everywhere else. I don't know how that happens.
So I'm going to tell you this.
There's no way to quantify this, but I think the Chiefs would benefit from the rematch in that.
You do? I do.
I do.
too.
I do.
I will tell you, you can make a good point about the Titans. Mariota doesn't scare you. That offensive line does. This is a big group. They're going to pound that rock. It's a physical football team. Kind of don't want it. Would still rather see them instead of the Ravens. The Ravens are the exact kind of team that will come. They'll be wearing the black pants. They're going to come in here. They're going to beat you up. You don't want that. You guys don't want to see the black pants with the white jersey against the red jersey and the white pants.
Are you looking forward to Marcus and Macklin?
Yes.
Some kind of matchup that way, right?
I'm more looking forward to Macklin yelling at somebody, "You better come on!" Macklin was real good after like a 6-yard catch. He started, "You better come on!" Well, he'll bark at you, boy. So yeah, there will be some barking. Probably not at Marcus because I think they respect him. But oh yeah, Macklin will be barking at Revis. I don't know. I don't know if he would.
I think he'll bark at Marcus. It'll be like, not screw you, but it'll be like,
I think it's disrespectful. You better come on. That's coming to Steve Nelson.
I'll tell you when he's going to do it. He's going to run a 6-8 yard out on the Chiefs sideline, and he's going to take the ball and spin it right in front of Andy.
Then he's going to do what? You better come on.
Tell us about that.
Right, Ryan? I will guarantee you this. I will guarantee you this. The Ravens are here. That first drive, Macklin's getting that deep ball up top from Big Joe Flacco. It's going to be, they're going to go 12 personnel. There'll be 2 tight ends. They're going to go play action, match protect, shot play. Flacco's going to lay in there all day. They're going to make sure they put Macklin on the side opposite Peters. And they're going to take a deep shot at number 2-4. Yep. Darrelle Revis. They're going to see if he can still run. And if he catches that celebration is going to be mammoth. Okay.
It'll be 14 degrees. Ravens weather. Favors them. Bad matchup. I think it's a bad matchup.
Terrell Suggs is going to be dancing.
Low scoring game, which never favors the Chiefs.
Can't you guys just see like Kareem Hunt consistently being tackled for a loss? A yard. They're going to get the zone stuff going, and there's going to be guys like Brandon Williams is pushing guys into the backfield. That's going to be brutal. I would not be on Twitter that game. I'm not dealing with you guys. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to I'm going to do my job. I'm going to type up my story. I'm going to ask my questions. I'm going to go on home and get ready.
Corporate therapist is going to be.
The corporate therapist will allow somebody to pick his questions. I'm not doing it, y'all. I'm not doing it this year.
Well, and you like the Chiefs, so just get ready for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Well, the other scenario is that the Chiefs win that game, and then In the divisional round, what do we have, Blair?
Well, you'll have one of three teams. You'll have the Patriots, the Steelers, or the Jaguars. Whoever finishes, it always depends on who wins the other wild card round game. But I got to tell you, there's a couple of matchups I like there better than the Ravens. Really, the Patriots for one. I kind of like Steelers if Antonio Brown's not healthy.
I don't want the Jaguars.
I think they can beat the Steelers. I know you and me disagree about that.
Actually,
but yeah, I think.
The only thing with the Steelers, though, I'm wondering if this isn't. There was talk before the season. This is Roethlisberger's last year.
Yeah.
If there's just some determination to go out a champion, or to finally beat the Patriots in the playoffs, especially after the way they lost them on Sunday. Maybe you catch the Steelers looking ahead or something. But I definitely like them against the Patriots. I would like them against. I like Andy Reid in a matchup against the Patriots.
Here's one thing we need to remember about the Steelers game. The Steelers beat them up the last two times they faced them, and the Chiefs still only lost by like 6 points. Like, all they have to do is play. All they have to do is play more physical. But like, I could see them, because you know what's going to happen that entire week. That's going to be a nobody believes in us game.
Right.
No one's going to pick them to win in Pittsburgh, and their manhood will be questioned. And that entire game, that entire week, people will say they can't win up front.
Yeah.
They can't. I can see them reach up. I can see them do it. They can reach up and do it. Now then the season would end the next week in Foxborough. But
I think that I agree with that.
I can totally see that happen.
The matchups you can see is okay, but the cumulative effect, not being able to win at both places.
Yeah. I think
That'd be a hell of a run, though, boy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you still don't want the Jaguars. You still don't want that team, man.
They were 3-13 last year, and playing as well as anybody in football right now.
Okay. Real quick, let's talk about what we can expect from John Dorsey in Cleveland. Dorsey has got a lot of power over in Cleveland, and he made sure people knew. In his first press conference,
it was a radio
show.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, he's like, I'm just going to be honest. They didn't draft real players. I got to tell you, not something that's going to endear you to the room. Probably doesn't matter because he's going to ship 95% of them out. But I think it's really interesting that he would choose to say that. Never said anything that close, that controversial, even close when he was here. What are we making of that comment?
Well, I was joking with. I'm sorry, but I was like, he never crapped on Scott Pioli that bad when he was here, and maybe because he knew the rest of us were doing it for him. But especially what he said. Who was the? Why am I forgetting the guy's name? The receiver that he cut?
Kenny Britt.
Yeah.
Kenny Britt. He took a victory lap around Kenny Britt.
He was so happy.
And said, basically, called him. I mean, just if you knew what kind of man he was or competitor, that was an easy decision. All this. Oh, damn! When you hear NFL GMs say that kind of thing publicly.
So is he a different guy from his experience here? Like he's going to
black hat,
lay it out on the table in a different way? I only thought about the comments about the GM where maybe he really believes in the coach and he wants to make sure it's understood that he really thinks he didn't have what he needed to work with, and I'm behind him. That's a way to say it.
Yeah, he's absolutely
hell of a way to do it.
Replace Deshaun Kaiser. So
would he replace him with Alex Smith?
I think he's going to take Big Sam Darnold.
They'll start new at that position.
Yeah.
I would think that he would take Alex, but they've got so many draft picks, and it's a quarterback draft class. I think he drafted a guy because I think they would have loved to have taken. They would have loved to have taken a quarterback 1-1 in 13, but there wasn't a quarterback there.
I got people telling me they want the Ravens. Okay, have fun with that. Go ahead.
I mean, the Ravens more than the Titans or Bills?
Yeah.
That is freaking crazy.
And these are the people that check in with us regularly. Like Mike Howard.
Jordan Tribe didn't say anything.
Mike Howard and Mike watches. Mike is like, Baltimore hasn't beaten anybody. Cleveland twice, Cincy, bunch of backup TV, and Detroit. That's a good point. I don't care about that. Look, okay, let's see how it goes. That's all I got to say. I am occasionally interested about baseball, Royals baseball specifically. Is Eric Hosmer like suddenly like might come back? I mean, what is going on?
So-
Why would he go to San Diego if that's the team that's giving him the best offer? If it's comparable,
If there was more money, and beach and fish tacos or whatever, but I don't think he would. But I don't think that that's going to be the choice. I still feel like the Cardinals or Mets or somebody else is going to get into it.
Really? Yeah.
I do, and at that point, the Yankees are apparently into Greg Bird at first base. That's a luxury tax thing. But that's another thing, another domino. The Red Sox signed Mitch Moreland. The Yankees want to stay under the luxury tax. Like the dominoes are starting to fall to push him back here. But if somebody else, the Cardinals especially, get involved, free agents like two things typically.
Oh my God.
They want the biggest contract, and they want to go somewhere they can win. And if the Cardinals get involved, Eric Hosmer would be asked to take neither of those two things. Take less money to be part of a rebuilding project for some sentimental, not discounting this, but for basically for a sentimental to be this generation's Eric Hosmer. I think that's a big ask.
Or this generation's George Brett. Is that what you meant?
What'd I say? This
Said
generation's
Hosmer.
Eric Hosmer?
He's really
he
this
would
generation's
literally
Eric
be
Hosmer.
this generation's Eric Hosmer. Yes, George Brett. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yes.
No, I mean, look, I think you're really plugged into this. It's certainly beyond how I am, and I guess I was starting to oversimplify, thinking it was really shaken down to the Padres and
Those
Royals.
are the only two teams that have been linked, but I just think somebody else is going to get involved. Don't you think? I mean,
Why not? Why
Well,
everybody
he's a
would
good
know
player.
this, right? Yeah, now
You know,
you say
Sam,
it.
after 85, the Royals remain competitive for the next 5-6
3, 4,
years.
yeah.
I mean, and these were years, 16 through 19 or so of Brett's career, or 15 through 18, something like that. Hosmer still, there could still be another golden age of the Royals for Hosmer
Yes.
if he
Yep.
stays, and
Yep.
and they do rebuild around him and Salvi and Duffy
Yep.
and that core. So there, I think the Brett comparison's interesting, but baseball economics are so different then.
George has said a lot that he wouldn't have stayed in Kansas City if he played now.
Yeah, not
know, 'cause
under the
yeah.
same economic circumstances.
Yeah.
Do you
I just
go ahead, Sean.
Well, I genuinely believe that Hosmer likes Kansas City. Like I think that those feelings are real. Kansas City as a city, and also the Royals as an organization. I think that's real. I also think he hates hitting at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah.
Like he talks about that a lot. He doesn't say I hate hitting at Kauffman, but he talks about robs him of home runs and all this stuff. And I just don't know how that stuff weighs on him. But again, I don't know when a free agent has taken less money to play for a loser, to play for a rebuilding project. That's a big ask.
How sort of set in stone do you feel like it is that Hosmer is the first domino, even with things like Danny Duffy? I mean, they're not going to move on Danny unless Hosmer goes, right?
I would think, but I'm guessing on that. But to me, they're rebuilding next year whether they have Eric Hosmer or not. So I don't know.
Has anybody made an offer to Kane? What's happening there?
Not that I know of.
Quiet, huh?
But I think he's a bad fit in Kansas City. He's going to be 32 or 33, and you need him to play center field in the big outfield. And he needs to get every last dollar. That guy, this is going to be the last time he gets paid. He deserves it. He's earned it.
What if you could bring back Mustakas and Hosmer? Would you do it?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
So if you sign Hosmer, you wouldn't see value in signing Mustakas something reasonable?
they just went 80 and 82 with Hosmer having the best year of his career, Mustakas having the best year of his career, Kane having not the best year of his career because that was 2015, but a damn good year. And they still only won 80 games. I just don't think that they can make a winner out of this.
I mean, isn't there something to be said for keeping guys throughout their prime who've won a World Series here?
Yeah.
Right. People will always come to the ballpark for that.
Totally.
And let's say you lose Kane, you lose some of these guys. You're going to be able to rebuild. Maybe not with the premium high, like top 5 pick, but you're probably going to be drafting top 10 for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Top 12 for a couple years. Isn't it worth it, or could it be worth it to keep these guys around? For when you're ready to do it again in a couple years.
Yeah, so I'm extreme. Nobody agrees with this, but I'd blow it up. I would blow it all up. I would trade Duffy. I would trade Perez. I would blow it all up. And I think you need to be losing or you need to be winning. And anything in the middle is not where you want to be. It's not exciting. It's not like a plan that you can sell for fans, and that matters a lot to that front office. So I'm not saying this is what they'll do, but this is what I would do. But the problem at third base is different than the problem at first base. Eric Hosmer isn't blocking anybody at first base. They don't have a first base prospect. At third base, they got Hunter Dozier, they got Cheslor Cuthbert. Like, they've got some younger guys that they can play there. That's the in their eyes, I think that's the difference.
Okay, let's get back to football. Q&A. Thank you for your questions. Let's go. Jordan Tribe says he wishes he could join us.
Jordan.
Joel Rain says, good to see y'all again. Talking about Smith. Is a first rounder a reasonable asking price for Smith? No, you will not get that.
You can ask.
You've been doing good to get a second.
Yeah,
I think. If you get a second, you'll take it.
That is too.
Might have to settle for like a couple thirds.
That's what they gave up to get him, right?
A couple seconds.
2 seconds. Yep.
William David Smith says, tell me something good, guys. I'm having an all-time bad day. Wow.
Oh, is that right?
Oh,
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry, bro.
Week before Christmas, too.
I know.
Man.
We got something?
Chiefs just played the best game of the season since New England, at least.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
you know
And
what?
is that
This
good?
Up your alley. I'm assuming you're living in Kansas City. Sam, you're the connoisseur of Kansas City restaurants and food.
Well, what
Get
I
this
have-
man somewhere to soothe his pain.
What I have on top of my head was a lovely meal that I just had with Blair Kirkhoff at El Pollo Rey. The wings there, like, Peanut is my number one, and they get all the shine and everything, but El Pollo Rey can make a freaking wing.
It's great
How
sauce.
similar is it to the peanut?
It's very different.
Oh.
Like, the sauce is a little sweeter, Peanut's a little spicier.
Yeah.
I think the peanut is fried. They're fried a little bit more. They're not like crumb fried, like bread fried. They're fried a little bit more.
And you get the side of tortillas that you dunk in the sauce.
Tortillas are strong.
Primo tortillas.
Okay. Now he
I
has
hope that's enough to help.
Yeah.
William David Smith
Also,
says,
get a beer.
Yeah, definitely.
And if he means just in terms of the Chiefs, look, I have no idea what's going to happen these next 2 weeks, but you like where they're trending in the last 2
I like
weeks,
to
right?
see it.
There's still a little something inside. So
Sounds like Mahomes is going to be fun for you to watch. So. He actually asked another question, though. He says, is Fulton the answer at center next year? Can't speak for the tape, but the results speak for Zach Fulton at center has been better than a gimpy Mitch Morse.
do you like the idea of Mitch Morse going back to guard?
I kind
And
of
Zach
do.
Fulton
Gotta
playing
see it.
center?
Gotta see it in St. Joe. Just have to see it.
I just wonder if they work with something like that. If you know Zach Fulton's better at center than guard, and if Mitch is basically the same thing at
A
each,
healthy Mitch, isn't a healthy Mitch as good as a healthy Fulton at center, if not better?
I think so.
They
I
ask
think
better,
so.
sure.
But can you
Mitch is
maximize
really
it?
good.
Right.
But
They're
I also
different.
think that he could be as good at guard because he's a heftier guy who can move. I also think that could unlock some of the screen stuff, which again, we haven't seen the running back screen in a long time here. I think if you've got Fisher and Morse on the same side, that's a nice athletic group. And then you got Fulton, who is a monster on combo blocks.
Had a great game. Had a great game.
He really did. He really did. That stuff
LTD,
stuck
Larry had a
out.
good game, too. Tardif had a great game.
Larry's finally healthy again. Him and Fulton doubling at the point is a thing of beauty. Those guys could start on my offensive line. Those guys move people. Men get moved when they do gap stuff in that gap. I mean, it's nasty, right? Now, LET's got to stop with the penalties now. There's a few too many penalties here, okay? But good player. Let's see what they saw.
I do think, like, as a guy, you've been talking for a long time, not just this season, but in the past, about these physical offensive lines. And that's what Zach Fulton brings at center in a way that Mitch just doesn't.
Yeah, and I actually think that if you make Morse a guard, which is something I liked 3 years ago, and I actually graded him. Oh, God, that was ridiculous. When I used to. I had
10 guys per position.
I had him graded. I'm not doing that this year.
Yeah.
I had him graded out as a guard.
I know. Yeah, you say that. You're going to be in Mobile.
I'm like, I got juice again. No, we'll see about that. But no, I like him as a guard. I think there's something there with him and Fisher working together. But they've already invested a significant amount of money here. And one thing we need to realize, Morse is entering his 4th year, which means he's going to be a free agent after next season.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to make a money decision on him.
Yeah.
You've already paid Fish. Schwartz's number is coming up now. Tardif is making, this is a lot of money. So going to have to decide.
Yeah.
Brandon Woods says Justin Houston deserves a Pro Bowl nod.
Don't disagree.
A few alternates. though. Like, I think they announced the alternates.
Yeah.
I would expect Alex to be in there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Houston plays in it, though. Hey, this guy's about to play 16 games with his knee. The contract year is undefeated. He's not in a contract year, but they can save like $15 million or something by cutting him. So, he's playing all 16 this year.
Yeah.
I got it. I know how that goes. Steve Panapinto says, is there a fix at the mic this late in the year with 57 hurt and 56 looking, old? Well, Ragland's actually the mic, and DJ is the wheel, and Ragland's rock solid. You're gonna have, and DJ, it is what it is. It's too late. There's no, you can't really upgrade at that point right now. Now in the offseason, I do expect them to add like another young talent, but maybe in a veteran guy. I don't know, plays Derek.
I think. Don't you think that's maybe a second day draft position?
Well, that would be the second or third round. No, I think it'd be the third
day.
Yeah, because I think their first two picks, second or third round, edge rush, corner. Defensive line, corner. There's a lot. Yeah. They need.
Do you feel like this is it for Derek?
He really is about being a Chief. So unless he takes like a significant haircut, even more than he already has, I think he'll be gone. He really loves being a Chief. Like, I think it matters to him to like retire a Chief. I could totally see him taking like a sweetheart deal to remain. But we'll have to see, man.
What are your thoughts about? Is there any aspect of this where he couldn't get better during the season? I mean, he got to a certain point. He came back sooner.
Like better physically, you mean?
Yeah, he couldn't get better physically. Like at some point, the grind of the season keeps you from.
I actually think he has, believe it or not. I think he's had to make an adjustment in how he plays, which has affected the way he's looked. 2015, Derek. He's sliding under blocks. He's a cat. He's slithering. Some of the best football you'll ever watch.
He was so fun that year. Yeah.
What happens when you can't do that anymore? Yeah. When you cut under the block because you're just off by that much, that guy is way past you. You gave up your gap integrity. You have to learn how to play different, and that's been a process. Physically, I actually think he's got a tick faster as the season's gone. That hit a couple weeks ago on Lynch.
Yeah.
He diagnosed it quickly, but it still wasn't 2015. I think it just kind of is what it is at this point. He's had 2 Achilles injuries. That's going to sap what you had, but you always have those memories of what that guy was doing for you in 2015.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll say this too, like about DJ, and I'll try and make this quick, but if this is it for him, and their season ends in the wild card or division round, talk about a guy that deserved better from a franchise.
Yeah.
Playing out of position early in his career, like benched, gone through the 2-14, and never at that point he would retire or leave the Chiefs having won 1, maybe 2 playoff games. Like, just a guy that deserves frickin' better.
How many guys have been here longer? And is he 13 years?
Well, Colquitt's been here 13 years.
They're the same, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, how many
I think
guys
they were the same
in
franchise?
Franchise history? I don't know.
Not many more than
Can't be
played
many.
as many as 13 years, but he lost a lot of games, so he's lower on the list on games played.
I do have a thought on that.
Right.
And there's no secret here that I love Derek as much as you do.
We all love
Yeah.
we love guys.
The Prince.
I think he looks a little heavier this year
I do
than
too.
he was in 2015.
I agree.
I think he's about 240. And he's 240 because he couldn't run the same way. Remember, again, we talked about that. The injuries happened 4 months apart in the season when they happened. So the first time he recovered, he had 3 additional months to train.
Yeah.
He didn't get that. I think he's played heavy this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back and decided to play. He looks noticeably thinner and has some of that back. Is that some of that me wanting that for that guy because he's been available to the media? Sure. But that's also my critical football eye saying, this is a guy that looks a little heavy.
Yeah.
So let's keep an eye on that. And if the Chiefs agree, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back. So if he comes back, they're going to come back. He will come back thinner. You can take that to the bank. Let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Joe Scalliat. Hey, Joe. Joe's another guy that watches.
Joe's good. Yeah.
A-Team, awesome stuff. Are you guys worried about the D-line depth with Chris Jones, Nick, and 94 with the elbow? Yes.
I'm sorry, are you worried about what?
The D-line depth.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Robert Jacobs has been playing well last few weeks.
Yes, Jarvis has brought it. Jarvis designed that deal. Jarvis wants that contract year is undefeated. I wonder how good a team would be if they just nothing but 1-year contracts. Nothing but. It's like, oh, you want a 2 year? Bye. Just nothing but motivated guys on 1 year. Hey, I'm a players champ. I defend the players because this league is brutal and bogus in some ways. So good for them for getting what they can. Because you guys have to. I always take the players' side in that thing. This league is tough, and it is not fair, and it is nasty. Bogus stuff happens. So I take the player's side, but there's a noticeable difference in that contract year, boy. Guys are playing for that money.
That's a topic for a whole other program I'd like to discuss with you. Because it is, you're absolutely right how brutal the NFL is.
I think that brutality works another way, too, because the reason you see that juice in the contract year is because when they're not in a contract year, it's a brutal sport, so they're trying to save it, for that other moment. It's totally different than baseball and basketball. It totally is.
Yep. I will let you guys know we got 87 right now. That's a season high for midweek, even more than last week.
How about that?
Great. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Talia Shiri. Well, sent me some very nice messages, by the way. Glad you're watching. Says, the Alex get overlooked because our market is smaller. Because I think it's kind of interesting. I mean,
NFL's not set up that way.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I will tell you that I do think that this market probably costs some guys some money. Like if Travis Kelce played in New York, the amount of media that's there, like that really does matter. It does cost some guys some money, but I don't think this has anything necessarily to do with that.
I mean, you're talking about like endorsements and stuff. I thought you were talking about the program.
That was her question, but I just wanted to add that because I do think that matters.
Yeah.
And a guy has to be really special to get noticed here. Like that is a real thing.
I see him in commercials, and he had his own reality TV show. He's quite the media darling.
He was very proactive about that stuff, man. I give him credit. People, Bobby Tarwacki, who we can always count on.
Bobby's great.
Wait, so people actually want to see Flacco and Harbaugh over Bortles/Marone, Taylor/McDermott?
Good point, Bobby.
And Mariota/Malaki?
Very good point.
Come on, man. That's why we have 18 regulars. Honorary 18 regulars. To come on in and steer this ship. You know what I mean? Good job. When will the coaching staff or the AFC, NFC Pro add? The division, the teams that lose. When the Chiefs lose in the divisional round, they're going to send Big Andy and the staff right on back to Orlando. All right? So just get ready for that. It's after the divisional round. The divisional round losers have to coach it.
And he'll get to coach some quarterbacks, and he can talk about in press conferences the following year.
Oh, hey, how about that? Think he's watching?
That one.
Not going to take that.
How about that?
Wonder if he's watching.
Yeah. I don't know, but we need to stop talking. Landon Allen says, where does the Hill-Kelsey-Hunt combo rank among the other teams' 1-2-3 punch?
Hey, well, Blair did a whole story on this the other day in terms of even historical implications of the numbers.
Look, in modern Chiefs era, it's as good as it gets. I mean, they're going to be the first when Kelce catches about 9 yards worth of passes this weekend. They'll be the first team, the Chiefs team, to have 2,000-yard receivers and 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
Not to mention the season that Alex Smith is having. I mean, it's a career year for him. So,
and contextually, and this we didn't get a chance to independently verify this, but the Chiefs' research has been pretty good on this stuff. According to their research, I think this when Kelce goes over, it'll be only the 5th time in NFL history you've had a receiver, a tight end, and a running back all over 1,000
yards, right? When Tony Gonzalez played here, they didn't have a wide receiver as good as Tyreek Hill. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they had great wide receivers, they never had a tight end as good as Kelce or Tony Gonzalez.
Totally.
So it's just they got
Eddie Kennison had one kind of random big year, but it was
okay.
Yeah.
Landon Allen says, where does Ware play into the Chiefs' plans next year? How often will he actually play? West still the third down back in the future. I think adding Ware back to the mix would be great.
I did too.
Because that's going to really, you can have a nice little rotation with those two, with those three. And it's going to be really good, believe me.
I think they've missed him.
I do too.
At times this year.
Looks like a missed call there.
I do. Voicemail.
We'll talk about this while you listen to the voicemail. I'd like to know.
I will tell you, that's a good idea. I will tell you that there are members of the offense that think that Spencer gave those guys juice, and they thought that they missed that at times this year.
Yeah.
The way he runs hard, it kind of energizes the linemen.
Yeah.
Some earbuds in case you want.
I might do it. Don't tempt me. I might do it. Does somebody want to host for a second?
Let's just say that somebody we've discussed tonight may be calling.
Why did it
Which is
take?
why Therese says we're talking too much.
Mike Wilson says, why did it take so long for Sutton to start changing things on defense, a la bringing pressure, disguising and giving different looks?
They have been doing that lately. Certainly more pressure. The fact that Eric Murray had a sack the other day.
Can you account for why we didn't see more of that earlier this season? And look, maybe there's been more of it, just hasn't been successful.
I hated some of the defensive scheme. It's 1st and 10, and I got a safety in the box playing linebacker. Yeah, they're going to run the ball. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They've been so much better since they just started playing 2 middle linebackers and true nickel. And yeah, of course, that makes sense. I don't know why it took so long to make that adjustment. Has it hurt you in the past? Like a little bit, but Reggie's good, man. Reggie Ragland's good. He looks even better in coverage than I thought. That guy's legitimately a player.
Yep.
I wonder why it took so long.
There have been 3 things that have been, at least 3 that I'm thinking of right now, that have been like too slow or kind of baffling. And it's Acker over Mitchell. And I know whatever, but that lasted too long. And
wholesale too, not just like some plays, like
inactive,
the entire game
right?
out, inactive.
And then and the offensive line stuff.
Just Brady Logan says, I don't get to stay long. Unfortunately, but will this be available to watch or listen later? For anybody who might have just popped in for a second, you can get this on the podcast.
But don't forget to rate and review, Jesse.
See?
And not just rate and review, Therese, but rate and review and write a little something.
Right. Yeah, I'm not playing with you guys.
No 4 stars.
Right.
4-star bullshit.
Ooh, a little 18 after dark. After dark nod.
Yeah.
It is dark.
After dark mutter.
It is dark.
Paul DeSantis knows a way to get your question read is by praising me. He says, Therez's Steve Smith comparison for Ty is spot on. I know. Brandon Wood says, could you make a case for Benny Logan for the Pro Bowl as well? No, just a good player.
Really good player. Having a very nice season. That was a nice acquisition. Really nice acquisition, too.
Jesse Bates says, are you guys still doing Facebook Live tomorrow? Nope. Rich Turkowicz says, sup from Vienna, Austria again.
Hey.
Oh. Jesse Bates says, Peter's emerging as a vocal team leader. I think he could be that if he wanted to, but,
Interesting, though, that he's breaking down the huddle after the game or in the locker room. That's noted in your story today.
Yep. Talia Shear says, does Alex want to stay in KC? I think he likes it here. I think he wants to win.
What was
He
that
likes his
person's
coach.
name?
Talia Shear.
Okay, not S-H-I-R-E,
right.
not Adrian.
Not your Adrian.
Okay, all right.
Talia Shire.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, Adrian.
And there it is.
Matt Spencer. We're gonna go easy on the impressions tonight. Okay? we're not gonna do. I'm a little.
Still have that thing up here.
I'm a little impressioned out here. We're gonna go easy on the impressions here. Isn't it great?
It really is.
Oh man. Therese, the only thing that keeps Smith is if Mahomes isn't ready, right?
Well, we haven't even asked that question. How do we have any
we have no
sense
idea.
of any sense of his progress? We
Actually, we do. I talked to Nagy about this.
Yeah.
And Nagy was like, yeah, Pat has really good field vision. Like, really good. Like, really, really good. I'm like, oh, so he's progressing well. They're really excited about that. They are excited. And one of the reasons they're excited is people like Lou Riddick just can't stop raving about the kid.
Yeah.
So,
Whose opinion I really trust.
Mash Burn Dylan says it's funny. It seems like the only team that wins Super Bowls are those with long-standing, consistent. If you find a great quarterback, you keep him. That's why. Jesse Bates says Chiefs keeping Revis next year. Not at that price.
No, not at $10 million.
Oh, Jesse Bates wants you to talk about Sorensen's play.
Actually, it's funny you said that because when we were talking about when there was a safety in the box and nickel, of course they're going to run. And I almost said, especially when that safety is Dan Sorensen, but I felt like I've been picking on him too much lately. So anyway, Jesse, you dragged me into it.
Have to give Mahomes to capitalize on the low cap hit. That's correct, Brendan Downey. Seneca Fortune Sr. Another way to get your question read is to have the senior and junior.
Compliment Therese. Say you're senior. Say you're from Austria.
Yeah.
This is how we get. This is how
There's
we
a
get on the
formula
show.
to this thing. Y'all keep saying Macklin. What's Macklin's going to do? What about Ty and Albert wanting to show up Macklin? I like that actually. Those guys are going to. They respect Mac, but they're definitely going to want to show. Man.
For sure.
Yep. This is more funny to do the. You better come on. Jeremy talks so much trash, man. Joel Raines says Jackson-Pittsburgh would be a hell of a game. Yeah.
It wasn't when they Jacksonville-Pittsburgh would be a hell of a game. Yeah, Jackson will beat the hell out of them.
I think he's meaning that if the Chiefs play either one.
Oh, either one. I think so too.
Paul DeSantis says, any chance the Chiefs keep Nagy to be the coach in waiting? Up his pay to keep him like McDaniel. I think they should. I've said this before. I'm very high on this guy. You know, if you let him get away to Indianapolis,
yep, there's your team.
You know, that'd be
see Chris Ballard making that hire.
That'd be either that or told, right? I mean, that's coming.
That coach in waiting could be waiting a while though. If you're a coach in waiting in Kansas City, no, I'm not sure, but I think that Andy Reid may coach 3, 4, 5 more years.
Yeah, he wants to coach Mahomes, doesn't he? Don't you think he wants to coach Mahomes?
Yeah. That's a long time. Like I feel like coaching waiting, you want to be like 1, 2 years.
Right.
I also think like Nagy probably likes it here, and I think this is a great situation for him. From a quality of life point of view, let's say they give him a raise and they say, hey, we're not going to call you the coach in waiting, but you are. Big Andy's still there to take all the questions and be a rock and deflect everything. Yeah, that's on me. He can take his lumps as a play caller with really getting no criticism because all of it's going to come on Andy and he takes it all anyway. He can be here. Great situation. He can establish himself here. Potentially be the coach. And Clark doesn't want to switch that up. As long as they keep winning this way, Clark won't switch that up. This is a great situation for him. Yeah. I'm not sure it's a better situation going to Indianapolis or New York. So that's just something to think about. Oh, why did the Chiefs pick Bray over Murray and Hogan? Well, since Bray's got the cannon. So the other guys.
No.
There's no good option out of that either. Like, what are we talking about?
Chawaki says, are you going to play more on 22 or 15 on the roulette wheel tonight? Andrew Cade asks, is Fisher pulling his weight? As a run blocker, he is. Fisher's nasty in the run game, especially when he doesn't have to make difficult blocks. If he can just down block guys, he can really hurt them. He's got to keep getting better. His technique in the pass pro, you want it to be fast. You want it to improve faster, but he's been okay. Oh, Jordan Tribe asks, will Veach be a player in free agency? Bray has a good eye for talent, man. Like I don't know if they're gonna spend like a ton of money, but I do think there will be like one nice money signing, at least one, and then like some under radar guys they kind of like that they get for cheap, right? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. We've been doing this for hours. Let's go ahead and do our predictions. We're gonna start here on Vahe. She's playing the Dolphins, by the way. I mean, this game stinks. Let's just call it that. The Dolphins stink. It's going to be cold. I'm sure they won't come to play.
I think the Chiefs will come to play. I think, there was a lot of little magic in the last couple of weeks, but I think they're fully aware that they're going to deflate completely if they don't just put this away. I mean, they're going to come out to play, and they're going to be ready to put them away, I think. I think it'll be not a blowout, but like about 28-14 game, that sort of thing.
I think they'll win. I thought about this the other night, Saturday, in the locker room. The happiest NFL locker room is the winning locker room on a short week because those guys just won a game and now they get an extra time off.
Sure they do.
And I think that they're going to know on Sunday if they win that game, for a lot of them, they get a week off.
Yeah.
I think that can be a motivating thing. I think they're going to win. I don't think the Dolphins are any good. 28-14 is as good as any, but just because you already said that, I'll say 27-15. How you like that? It'll be a little closer.
And that'll be what it is.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Chiefs to win 27-14. I don't think much of the Dolphins at all.
Dolphins, they lost their season last week, losing to Buffalo after beating the Patriots the previous week. Beat the Patriots on Monday night, had everything to play for up at Buffalo and laid an egg. But remember the last time Jay Cutler played in Kansas City? None of us were there except for Therese. Came out of there with
He was dealing.
he was with the Chicago Bears. We were all down in Houston at the playoff game. Bears came into Arrowhead and won a game they had no business winning.
And Therese convened the B team afterwards, I can remember.
We enjoyed that.
I've been knowing this guy a long time.
We were watching that in Moonshiner's Bar in Houston. Not that we were out or anything, but we were just, in between games.
But I agree with both of you guys. I think the Chiefs have plenty to play for. The only reason I picked the Chargers last week was because everybody was picking the Chiefs. I just thought the Chargers needed some representation on the panel, but not this week. I think the Chiefs win this game 30-16.
All right. We're going to do overtime. 2 more questions and call it a day because I want to get these guys in. Deron Blackson says, is there a chance that this team might be peaking at the right time? The combination of the run game and attacking aggressive defense looks like it's a good playoff recipe. Last question, does anybody want to see the Jags right now? The answer to that is no, but what do you guys think to the first one?
First one's feasible, right? I mean, and you can make a case that they in some way prospered by the bad times. I mean, they had to fix some things. They didn't just sort of start over. So, since we're in here, it's a roll of the dice, right? But I still say I think there's a reasonable chance that they're going to be peaking into this. It's a little interesting to think about if they win against Miami. Do you take any steam out of that by sitting guys in the last game? But I think you sit them.
Seneca Fortune Senior says, and this is the last question, do you think we have a chance with Devontae Adams? I think he's the top 5 receiver, free agent this year. Packers have money in Cobb and Nelson. I would generally say no to that because I think the amount of time it takes for a receiver to get the system, you might as well just draft them. And I don't think they would necessarily spend money on Adams, but I do think that a receiver, mid-level, a little more, would be a good move with Conley coming off the Achilles. I do think that's something to think about, and I do think they will add a veteran. So, okay, we appreciate you guys watching. We had a great turnout. I'd like to thank the 7th Street Casino for having us and hosting us. For the guys, thanks for watching again. I'm Therese Paler, and we will see you guys on Sunday. We will not be doing Facebook Live after that. You need to spend time with your family, guys. Okay?
So, because we won't see him on Sunday, Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Take care. See you.